Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Commentary Tracks brought to you by Not the Best Podcast. My name is David.
I'm Ivan.
And today we are going to do Captain America Civil War because I fucked up and I thought Thor Ragnarok would have been released by now, but we still gotta wait about a week or so. So we're doing Civil War instead because it was the easiest thing we could have done for a backup. Ivan, you pretty excited for Black Panther?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, it comes out this week, and so Ivan had the brilliant idea to save my ass. And Black Panther is in Civil War, Ivan.
Yes, he is.
And so Civil War is available. It's on Netflix. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna watch Black Panther give his on-screen debut. All right, you ready, Ivan?
Yep, all set to go.
You got it queued up?
Yep.
All right, we normally skip over intros and credits and shit like that, but Captain America Civil War on Netflix at least starts right off the bat with no intros, no logos or anything. So we're at the 0 or 1 second mark. It's just, we're going to start talking and the movie's going to already be started. All right, you ready, Ivan?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 8, play. All right, beautiful.
All right, so we got some exciting news too, David. I don't know if you want to tell the audience, or should I?
News? I don't know what you're talking about, Ivan.
David just got his first PUBG win in solo.
Just did! Just like 5 minutes ago, before we started this recording. Because I wanted to play PUBG, but Ivan wanted to be, responsible and actually record. But I squeezed in the game anyway. And I did pretty fucking good.
Good for you. Hail Hydra.
I forgot. This whole thing is about Hydra, right?
Yeah, I forgot Hydra was a thing for a while. I'm not even going to lie.
They're like a huge thing. Remember it was a meme, like in 2014?
Yeah.
Everyone was whispering, Hail Hydra.
Well, wasn't that when the Captain America comic came out where he killed somebody? He's like, Hail Hydra.
I think that comic came out after the meme. Well, I don't know what year that comic came out, but I know it was in Civil War. No, not Civil War. The Winter Soldier. That's the one where there's a secretary and they have their secret Hydra handshake and they're whispering in each other's ears. And then someone did a meme of Sesame Street with Bert whispering that to Ernie, and so everything was just Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Yes. And then the comic came out.
Yeah.
Which I think they undid all of that finally. The Captain America's actually a Hydra agent.
Did they?
I'm sure they have. By now? Remember a lot of people were pissed about that?
If I remember correctly, a lot of people were pissed about it because there's no explanation as to why. It was just kind of like, Hail Hydra.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably.
Shoehorned in there.
This is where we learn how Bucky killed Tony Stark's parents.
Yeah.
He went ta 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 ta.
And a gratata. No, he didn't even shoot him. He chokes him out.
Oh, that's
Jesus
true.
Christ. He's fucking brutal. He shoots the camera. The street camera? Street camera? Question mark?
Question mark?
I'm saying, why is there a street camera in the blackest fuck of night in the middle of buttfuck nowhere? Doesn't matter, Ivan. Tony had to see it. Were you aware of where they were going with that plot point of the whole Bucky killing Tony Stark's father and mother?
No.
I
Also,
saw it coming, Ivan.
I just want to point out, man, I love Marvel's intros.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, especially recently too.
You mean the new? They got a new theme now by Michael Giacchino.
Yeah, where it's live action clips playing. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Because they're not reliant on the comic books anymore. Ivan, they're their own entity. They can finally 10 years of these fucking movies, man.
MCU, man. Now remind me, in this timeline, this is before Ultron or after Ultron?
This is after Ultron,
After Ultron.
and it's made
Yes,
very
yes,
clear
yes,
throughout
yes.
the movie.
Yeah,
that it's after
I
Ultron.
totally remember now. It is after Ultron because they're fighting about having control over them, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I really liked because Ultron wasn't what's the right word to say? It's not a bad film, but it wasn't like loved by a lot of people. Like say as much as the first Avengers. And so even though like a lot of people didn't overwhelmingly love it, it still has a very important place in the MCU history. All the events that occurred.
Now, okay, I have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
Because we're speaking about Ultron, and then we're speaking about. 'Cause I remembered when I saw Thor Ragnarok, I was kind of like wondering about something.
The timelines and stuff.
Not only that though, but just does the Hulk seem to like shrink or get bigger with some movies?
Maybe. It could depend on just the way they film him, like the technical craft of it. So say the Avengers was shot on a 16:9 aspect ratio for it was because it was shot using like television cameras, and it was specifically designed so that the tall height of the Hulk could fit in with like how short Scarlett Johansson is in real life. So the shift in aspect ratios between different movies could have a factor in how tall or big or short the Hulk is perceived. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I mean like that, but just like, all right. So in Thor Ragnarok, you have that Hulk who there's a pretty like there's comparison shots between Thor and the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
And then in like Civil War, not Civil War. Is it Civil War?
He's not in this one.
He's not in this one. In Age of Ultron, when the Hulkbuster armor comes out, like it's almost like Hulk still like towering over the Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah. Don't think about it too much, Ivan. Like,
I don't know. Just
it's one of those things. I mean, how does Captain America's shield bounce back to him? Doesn't matter. It's just awesome.
was it like vibranium?
Yep. It's not.
Didn't they have to change that because of like legal issues with them not owning adamantium?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. Is his shield adamantium in the comics?
I think it is. I think his shield's adamantium.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think anything that could have been adamantium in the MCU, they were like, it's vibranium, fuck it.
Yeah.
Which is now curious, now that Disney owns the X-Men once again, to see how they're gonna incorporate the X-Men, of course, but like Wolverine and now adamantium. How are you gonna make something stronger than vibranium?
Yeah.
You've been told for 10 years that vibranium's the most, I'm sure it's not gonna matter. He's like, I have adamantium, it doesn't matter, don't think about it, I'm here to fight.
I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna work the X-Men, if they even are gonna work the X-Men.
I'm sure they will, but it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take years. They're still going through like, hodges of fucking legal paperwork. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna be a process.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because Fox is still actively developing X-Men movies, like within the X-Meniverse in Fox.
Okay.
Which is weird. Like, did you hear? I forget who it is. It might be Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool. You like Deadpool, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, that director wants to make a Kitty Pryde movie.
Oh, I did hear this, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Ellen Page. You like Ellen Page,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
Her. It's unclear as to whether or not it will be Ellen Page again, but they just want to make a movie based off her character, I guess. Which sounds interesting, but then it just raises the question: how is this transition going to work? And how long will we see the effects of it?
I'd be willing to bet that they're just gonna. Oh, ain't that some shit? He just put a grenade in his own guy's truck.
Oh, he don't give a fuck about them. I mean, you got to be worried about Scarlett Johansson. It would have blew up a lot faster than it did, but doesn't matter. It's a movie.
No, there's like a 7-second fuse in those things, I think.
7 seconds.
Something.
I don't
It's
know.
like 5 or 7 seconds. I can't remember. But
It varies from movie to movie.
what are you calling it? I don't know. I feel like they might just pull like a Spider-Man and just kind of like ignore the previous canon, the previous lore.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like,
look,
oh,
we just had an X-Men movie 2 months ago. It doesn't matter. Like they're now part of Disney.
they're
now,
dead.
as of now, right now.
We're fixing
yeah.
it. They're dead.
None of it mattered.
Which I don't know. I feel it's a shame because Logan was.
Logan. I mean, they couldn't have known that their entire studio was going to be sold off. You know, because Logan's a fantastic ending to that universe as a whole.
Yeah.
But they have like 4 other movies in the can. So like, what are you gonna do?
I think like the biggest like downer for me in regarding this is just we're not gonna get another Logan.
Yeah, you mean that kind of gritty and raw.
That gritty
Western
raw,
kind of
just like painful almost.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at a scene like this is a very this is an awesome sequence that feels very grounded, very it reminds me of like the Bourne movies, the Bourne Ultimatum and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
It's very grounded, it's very
Shaky cami.
Yeah, a little too shaky cami for my taste, but it's still very like it feels raw and it feels gritty, but the rest of the movie obviously doesn't feel like this overall. But I mean, Disney, you know, they're experimenting.
See, okay, to me there's a difference between like this sort of gritty and raw and Logan gritty raw. There's definitely
blood spewing everywhere.
Yeah.
Knives in your face. Guts hanging out. You're not wrong.
slowly crying as you see your best friend die, thinking that you murdered him.
Oh, that's a brutal scene, man. That's hard to even think about.
Oh, it wasn't me.
Oh, man, because we got to do Logan.
We should. We definitely got to do Logan.
It's a great movie, man.
Great movie. Oh, they got it.
It was nominated for best adapted screenplay at the Oscars.
Really?
Yeah, Logan. Yep. I think I'd have to double check this. It might be one of the first comic book adaptations to be nominated for screenplay.
Nice.
I'd have to double check that. I know Deadpool was nominated for adapted screenplay as well, but like for the WGA, not the Academy Awards. I don't know. I'd have to double check that because I don't know if like movies that came out in the 70s like Superman or the original Batman ever got nominated for anything like outside of like special effects, obviously.
Yeah.
Because you know that's a leg up for the comic book genre. Like Logan, it's a movie that transcends the genre of being just a comic book film. You know what I mean? It deserves the recognition for sure.
So I forget. I don't know if they explained to, but who is this guy? Because obviously he has a past regarding Captain America.
Yeah. So this is the guy in the last movie, The Winter Soldier. I don't know if you remember. He was just an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. who ended up being a double agent for Hydra. He was one of those guys.
Oh, okay.
He is like he's with Captain America on a few of his missions, like in the opening sequence on the boat.
Yeah.
He's there with Captain America, and then eventually he has to fight him. Near the end of the movie, Captain America basically drops a building on his face, and that's why he looks so ugly.
Oh, Scarlet Witch is all sad because she just don't kill people.
I know. I mean, that sucks in her shoes, you know. Like, I love just. This is the first time in a Marvel film, one of the first times where it feels like all their actions have consequence.
Yeah. It definitely it reminds me of the days when like I would watch Power Rangers and they would just literally rip a building in half to fight the fucking monster with. And then I'm just thinking like, how many people died in that building, just like, oh shit, there's a I'm being hip. Okay.
Yeah, and like in all these Marvel movies, there's like a blue beam into the sky. Hundreds of millions of people are dying. No one's talking about it. And in this movie, it's like, nah, fuck all you guys. You've killed a bunch of people. We need to put you in check. And you're like, oh yeah, this isn't a universe. Like we're, real people. It feels grounded, and I really respect that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take itself too seriously. You know what I mean? It's not like a depressing movie. You still got that airport scene that we're gonna see pretty soon.
Flashbacks to young Tony Stark. Now, okay, did they use another actor for this, or did they just like CGI the fuck out of Robert Downey Jr.'s face?
Nope, it's all CG.
Ugh.
Doesn't look too bad. I mean, it doesn't quite look perfect.
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley for sure, but improved Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
It's getting there. I think they did a spot on job with doing this to Kurt Russell in Guardians 2, which we talked about last time. And they did it to Michael Douglas in Ant-Man for the opening scene. They're getting pretty good at this. Pretty soon we're not going to need actors, Ivan. Just CGI everybody. Iron Man is played by Tony Stark until infinity.
Not gonna lie, Iron Man is gonna be played by Tony Stark. It's
obviously
one of the same fucking people. I don't know. I love Tony Stark's like character arc throughout the entire MCU.
Yeah, a lot of people when this movie came out complained that Iron Man and Captain America's character motivations should have been switched, in the sense that Captain America's a Boy Scout and he was born basically, obeying orders from the government, and he should have been on the side for the Sokovian Accords, while Iron Man, since the first movie, has always been a rebel and has rebelled against the system and should have been the one who didn't want to sign up for the Sokovian Accords. But I'm with you, man. Like, 10 years changes people.
Yeah.
Like, I think this shows how much they've grown. People don't stay static and the same forever. Tony Stark's not the same person he was back in the original Iron Man.
Yeah.
He's come a long way. He's learned things along the way. And so I'm totally for where he's at in his life and how he feels like, they should sign up, when maybe before he would have been on the opposite end of the spectrum. The same thing goes for Captain America. He's had an arc. He's changed. In The Winter Soldier, he sees everything that he's fought for in S.H.I.E.L.D. be destroyed by Hydra. He doesn't know who to believe anymore. I love their growth.
Yeah.
It shows that, they're always moving. They're always in motion. They're not just caricatures of the same cartoon character every week. You know what I mean?
I think that's like a major part of why the series actually done so well so far. Like I said, they're not just stagnant. Yeah, it's been 10 years, but it's almost like two different characters now.
Yeah, they're not stagnant. They're moving. You always want to move the characters forward, and I think Marvel's done a pretty good job with that.
You know who I haven't seen in a while?
Who?
Ant-Man.
He hasn't been in a lot.
Coming out with a new movie pretty soon. Was that Ryan Reynolds?
Ant-Man? No.
No, it's not Ryan.
That's Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Ryan Reynolds, that's Deadpool. Also coming out later this year. So many comic book movies, Ivan.
I know. Like Black Panther.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. It comes out this week. I definitely gotta go check it out Thursday night. The Rotten Tomato scores at like 97%.
Yeah, I know. We're me and the group of friends over here. We're trying to figure out our ticket situation to go because we're all really down. We really want to see it opening weekend.
Gotcha. So I think when we were recording Hunger Games, I don't know if we mentioned anything, if anything, about Black Panther. When we recorded our last commentary track, they projected it was probably going to make $100 to $120 million opening weekend, which is really good. They're now projecting it's probably going to make more, like 160 to 170 million opening weekend.
Black Panther?
Yeah.
What's your guess?
I'm thinking that's pretty accurate. I think that's pretty on the money. 160, 170. That would easily make it the highest grossing origin movie or first standalone film. First solo standalone film for a comic book character. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's his first movie. It's going to be like the biggest opening for any individual comic book character. That's insane.
I'm going to go ahead and say 180 easy.
You're not crazy, man. It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to say 180 to 200.
There's so much buzz around it. I mean, obviously there's the significance, of the cultural impact.
Yeah.
Of just how diverse the movie is and the cast and the talent involved, everything from the music to the director to the cinematographer, on top of being a Marvel movie which has brand recognition and audiences love already, on top of all of the critic buzz, and it's just of the perfect storm of things for this movie to make a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, and I'm honestly really happy, man. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah. Did you hear there's a group of angry white teens who wanted to sabotage the Rotten Tomatoes score, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, by just giving it shitty negative reviews without even seeing it?
See, honestly, that's one thing that I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things.
We can't have nice things. You have one end of the spectrum, saying it's nothing but like SJW, social justice warriors, blah blah blah, and then the other hand of the spectrum, you have people christening this movie as if Black Panther is the second coming of Christ. Yeah, you can't just enjoy a movie and enjoy the cultural significance, Just, you have to be two extremes. Do we have to have this dichotomy, Ivan? Can't we just enjoy a movie?
I don't know, man. Nowadays, everything has to be political.
Yeah, everything's political. Fucking everything. I just hope it's a damn good movie.
I think it will be.
I definitely think it will be. Are you familiar with Ryan Coogler, the director?
No.
I fucking love this guy. As a director, he's only made 2 other films, but he's easily one of my favorite directors.
What else has he done?
He came out in 2013 with the movie called Fruitvale Station, which is about the true story of a guy named Oscar, and I can't remember his last name. He went out on January 1st of 2008, I want to say, and he was just with his friends, and it's about injustice with cops or whatever. He got shot. He ended up dying for something he didn't deserve to happen to him, and it's such a brutal and emotional story. It really broke me when I watched that film. It's amazing. Everyone should see it. And then his follow-up to that was Creed. I don't know if you're familiar with the Rocky franchise at all. Yeah, Creed is technically the 7th movie in the Rocky franchise, and it's easily my favorite. It feels like a classic modern update of the original Rocky film, which is obviously the best. And there's certain shots in that, there's an entire boxing match that's filmed in one take, and it's so fucking impressive. It's I don't have no idea how he filmed this. This seems impossible. And so I'm hoping, he took some of that, the emotional beats from his first movie and some of the technical craft he picked up with Creed, and infused all of it into Black Panther.
Well, honestly, I guess. I mean, if people hear this before Black Panther comes out, or even after opening weekend, I mean, definitely go support it. You know?
Absolutely. Like, don't be one of those people who, gets it on bootleg. Don't be like, oh, I'll catch it. No, like, support this movie. Like, if you like Marvel, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to support it already, But if you're not so much into comic books, this is the one you should probably give a try, I think, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, especially, also to, like, the Marvel fan base, just, I don't know, based off some of the trailers and stuff, it seems like Wakanda and Black Panther and everything, they're going to have such a large impact on the Infinity War,
Very true. I think a large movie, more than we expect, probably will be based in Wakanda. That entire fight sequence where they're all running at the end of the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Wakanda, right?
I think so. So on some other news in the movie world, did you hear about Star Wars Episode 9 hiring Paul Angus?
Paul who?
Paul Inglis. He was the art director for Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, no, I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, I guess, they hired him for Star Wars Episode 9.
That's cool. So he did art? What was he? What did you say?
He was the art director for Blade Runner 2049, Skyfall,
Ooh.
Game of Thrones, Mission Impossible,
Ooh.
Children of Men, pew, 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 some other stuff.
Those are some fantastic movies, man.
Yeah.
Can only be good news. I love everything about the production design and the costume design and art design of those movies. Like, stylistically, they're shot beautifully. All of those movies that you just mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure that only means a good thing for Episode 9. Did you hear they hired the Game of Thrones writers for, like, a new series of Star Wars films?
What?
Oh, you didn't hear this. Yeah, so the writer-producers on Game of Thrones, D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, I believe that's their names. I might have reversed their first and last names. I'm not sure. Have been hired to create a series of Star Wars films. It's supposed to be separate from, like, the episodic films, like episodes 7, 8, and 9. It's going to be different from Rian Johnson's own trilogy. So it's not even clear if it's going to be these, like, Star Wars stories. You know how we got Rogue One, a Star Wars story. We got Han Solo, a Star Wars story, which we could talk about in a bit later. It's interesting words that they used. A series of films that can range anything from, they're getting their own trilogy and it's going to have an overarching narrative, or it's just going to be like a bunch of anthological films that aren't related to each other at all.
Okay.
I think that's very interesting.
I'm definitely interested in learning more about this. I
Yeah.
don't know how I feel about it now, but
In terms of what? Because I have some reservations too.
I don't want this to go down the wrong path. I don't want Star Wars just to become like a watered down series that's good for a movie every year.
Yeah. I think that's everyone's biggest. Everyone has a lot of different complaints, but I think the biggest complaint is the fact that we're being inundated with so much Star Wars that, like, that magical appeal might be lost pretty soon. Like, oh, it's a Star Wars movie, we have to see it. Like, oh, we have another one coming around 6 months from now. Oh, we have another one coming 2 months after that. You know what I mean? So much Star Wars. There can be too much of a good thing. It is possible.
I mean, the only okay, I know we talk about this a lot almost every single time we bring up Star Wars, but I feel like this gives me hope in a sense, because I feel like we might get that gritty Stormtrooper universe, or the gritty but at the same time I'm kind of like, oh well, Disney,
Yeah, true.
like, how gritty can we get?
That's true. So they hired these guys, and people were automatically like, rated R Star Wars. Like, okay, just because Game of Thrones is TVMA, doesn't mean shit. They're just writer producers. They can write and produce whatever the fuck they want. Star Wars, it's it's not gonna have nudity. It's not gonna have cursing. Why would it? But like a gritty, like a raw and gritty war film, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, a guy can hope. This gives me hope for that, but how much, I don't know.
We got to give it time, and I'm sure whatever they're working on, they're just starting to work on it, like barely. So it's gonna be years before we see what their fruits may bear. I know a lot of people like to poo-poo on Game of Thrones, but I love Game of Thrones. So I think adding these guys, adding talent, is only a good thing. I think they're going to do a pretty stellar job.
Okay. Especially
since I'm tired of Star Wars movies kind of pandering to Star Wars fans. Like, oh, you remember Yoda? Here's Yoda. You remember R2 and C-3PO? Here's R2 and C-3PO. I want to see new things. I don't need to see the old things that we remember, Let's take Star Wars in new directions. Let's see new things with new movies. And if that's what we're going to get with both Rian Johnson's trilogy and these new series of films, then I think that's only good things. Because we have the Han Solo trailer, and what's everyone saying? Oh, he doesn't look and feel like Han Solo. Oh, you were gonna have this, and we already know about this. Why do we need an origin story? Well, let's not do that. Let's have new things, new stories, new adventures, new characters.
I guess.
But Ivan, people like the Cantina, so you gotta give the Cantina band a cameo. We shall see. It's the direction they go. It's gonna depend a lot on this Han Solo movie coming out in May.
Yeah.
How do you? So we've seen the trailer, we've seen the teaser, and the official trailer. What's your stance on the movie so far?
Okay, so this was actually my first time. I'm not sure if it's been shown before, if like leaked images or promotional art or anything, but this is my first time seeing Donald Glover as Lando.
Yep.
And fuck, it's awesome. I love it.
That has to be like the most perfect fucking casting.
Oh, dude, it made me want to watch Atlanta again for some reason.
Just Did you finish that series?
I didn't actually. I'm like 1 or 2 episodes left.
I gotta get back on that because season 2's coming out pretty soon.
Oh,
actually.
Dude, great, fucking great. Lemon Pepper Wet.
What's this song? Paper Boy.
Oh, Paper
All
Boy.
About that Paper
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh, dude, that's a great.
That's
show.
a good show.
That's
I gotta get back on it.
Yeah, thanks to Jacob for getting me on that. Oh, but no, honestly, I'm excited. I'm interested in seeing how it started off, and I'm interested in seeing his origin story.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me though. I know there's a lot of controversy, or not controversy, but a lot of talk, I guess, regarding the fact that they didn't show any sort of media until like a month or 2 before the release.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to know as and why. I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's very curious. Like I think most people feel that way, regardless of whether or not they're excited for the movie. I think everyone is curious to see how this movie's going to play out and why it's going to do whatever it's going to do. Because who the fuck knows why they waited so long? Was there still production trouble even after Ron Howard took over the project? Were they really just waiting for The Last Jedi to kind of fade out of theaters?
Because
Who's to say?
hasn't this movie been plagued by like just production issues before?
Yeah, the whole Lord and Miller debacle. You know about Lord and Miller, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Most famous for doing the Lego Movie,
Yeah.
and 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
And regardless, they were hired, and I was really excited for it because I love the Lego Movie and I love 21 Jump Street. So I was excited. I was like, okay, we're gonna have a fun, silly romp. Okay. Well, apparently they were making the movie too silly, and they were going off script. And I mean, normally it's like, all right, you're going off script, you reel your director back in. But apparently, Lucasfilm didn't do a goddamn thing until they were about 90% done with shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the concerning part. Because if they were fucking around, you would think they would have been on the same page day one, let alone a couple weeks before they were almost done filming the movie.
See, I don't know. To me, that raises some red flags. Like, what happened was that where it's like, did they just actually let him go unchecked for 90% of the movie?
Right.
Or did somebody higher up just say, what the fuck? Nah.
I don't know, man.
Oh. There's tons of stuff like this where I'd kill to see like any behind the scenes stuff, you know, like to know any behind the scenes stuff.
And the shitty thing is, like, with Disney, everything's shiny, everything's glossy, everything's okay. Don't look behind the magic carpet or whatever the fuck, however the saying goes. I said that horribly wrong. You know they're not gonna release behind the scenes reels of all the shit that like went down behind the scenes. Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, everything was hunky dory. We all got along. Everyone's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. We all know something's wrong.
I mean, and not even see like a reel. Just like, here's an article about all the shit that went down with, you know.
Yeah.
What was this movie? And I'm like, oh fuck yeah. Just, I wish they made like a gossip magazine of that, you know. I totally get into
that
fucking
would be
gossip magazines.
That would be gossip that I would read.
Hey, speaking of Black Panther, here he is.
Yes, we got his father, T'Chaka, right? That's how you pronounce his name, T'Chaka,
yeah.
And T'Challa.
But yeah, in other movie news, I'm guessing, new poster for Ready Player One got released.
Finally, we have a poster with everyone has the correct proportions.
Oh yeah.
That other poster was. It looked great, and then you saw his leg, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
I'm actually really salty because they changed the audiobook cover to that.
They did?
Yeah.
Does he have the fucked up leg and everything?
Yeah, he does.
Ah, come on. Who made that mistake, man?
I'm glad I got like it's not the original cover, but it's like a special cover they did for Loot Crate, I think, for my copy of it.
There's only two covers that I'm aware of. One where it's just like a blue, it's just blue and it just says Ready Player One on it. But then there's the other one where he's in the stacks, right?
Yeah.
Which one is it? The one he's in the stacks? Is that the one you're talking about?
I have the one where I think it's the one where he's in the stacks. It's hard to explain. It's not. Yeah, it's where he's in the stacks. It's like Ready Player One in big letters.
Yeah.
I have that one for my Loot Crate soft copy or paperback, and I have the orange cover one.
Yeah.
That just says Ready Player One, Ernest Cline, in like massive letters and like a pixelated art of him reaching for the key for my hard copy.
Yep. Nice. Ready Player One. I'm excited. It's coming up pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
We're almost midway through February. Comes out in March.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it.
Let's see. Any other movie news you want to get into right now?
Right now, I mean, the Super Bowl. When was the Super Bowl? Was that just last week? It was just last week, wasn't it? Any other trailers that you saw?
You know, honestly, not really. I kind of left the Super Bowl party I was at early. Just wasn't really interested.
Yeah. Well, you got a couple of trailers that came out. You got The Rock's coming out in 2 different movies. You got Skyscraper. Did you see that one?
What's that one?
So that's the one where it's basically, I think it's basically the premise to Die Hard, where he's working at an office or some shit, and then these terrorists or whatever come or whatever. But the twist is, Ivan, The Rock has a prosthetic leg.
All right, I don't want to talk about this. Real quick, actually, did you hear? Apparently, the Han Solo movie was in development with George Lucas and Lawrence Kasdan before Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Look, there's a lot of whatever. It depends on what you mean by term development, because no matter what movies we're going to be talking about for the next few years, there's always going to be some connection back to George Lucas, because George Lucas has had hundreds of fucking ideas for all of these movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious of. Does in development mean like, hey, Han solo movie?
Right.
Or does it mean like, hey, I wrote this script out, or I have this like storyboard done, or whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm curious.
I'm sure it was very minimal.
And I'm sure whatever it was probably isn't really playing a role in this new series.
Right. Like there's been a weird backlash to the Disney Star Wars films about how, or like original fans are like, how dare you abandon George Lucas's vision, and we want to see George Lucas back, even though he made 3 shitty Star Wars movies back to back to back. So I don't understand that logic. But Disney has been like coming out with articles being like, nah, here's how George Lucas influenced Episode 7. Here's how he influenced Episode 8. So that doesn't surprise me at all that we'd be hearing, here's what he had to do with Han Solo, because they're always going to want to tie it back to George Lucas as much as they possibly can to appease to those original fans, you know?
I'm scared to almost say this, but I think it's time just for us to kind of forget about George Lucas.
It is, and that's going to upset a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing we don't have a lot of fans.
That's a good thing, but and I know my opinion probably isn't the most valid in the Star Wars community, seeing as how I'd say I'm more of a casual fan.
That's fair.
But I feel like a lot of the hardcore fans put him on such a high pedestal, and his time let's be honest, he's a great man. He did some fabulous work in the industry as a whole. Like changed the way like a lot of stuff's done, and just a true pathfinder, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. He changed the industry in more ways than a lot of other people.
But it's just, I think it's time for us just to kind of
let it go.
Accept the fact that yes, he did great, and yes, he's always going to be regarded as one of the greats. You know, he's up there. But his time, his generation's come and gone. You know,
I am 100% on the same page with you there, because in 2 years after Episode 9 comes out, here's the thing: we're gonna actually have more Disney Star Wars films than we have George Lucas created Star Wars films. And that's a weird feeling. That's a weird thing to say. Yeah. But it's the truth. Like it's time now. It's George Lucas's era is over. If you don't like Disney's take on Star Wars, that's fine. You will always have those original films. No one can take that away from you. But Disney owns Star Wars now. So let's just enjoy these movies.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
Now, okay, I'm curious because actually, you know what? Spielberg, no, Lucas didn't direct Super 8, did he? That was
Super 8. That was JJ.
That was JJ Abrams. Fuck.
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of? Didn't Spielberg have something to do with it though? Wasn't he like closely related to it or?
He might have produced it in the sense that JJ came to him for like some advice. JJ was obviously very inspired by like E.T.
Yeah.
and the Goonies for that film.
Yeah.
And so he was like, hey, I kind of have this idea for an alien. And then I have this other idea with these kids. And Spielberg was like, well, this is what I would do with it.
Yeah.
And basically, that's how that
Okay, never mind. That point I was going to make is completely invalid now. But, no, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I just think it's time for him to kind of just... I think he already has. I think he's already passed on the torch. And I think a lot of people just haven't accepted it yet.
I'm not sure if he himself has accepted
Really?
it. And that's the thing. When The Force Awakens came out, he said a comment that he regretted saying, but he said it nonetheless. He said, watching The Force Awakens felt like he was watching, what is it, white slave owners take like his child or some shit. And he was like, I shouldn't have said that. But he said it, right? White slave owners. Like, that's really fucked up. Like, and so I've heard so many people use that defense. Well, George Lucas doesn't like what they're doing with Star Wars. Why should we? Who gives a fuck what George Lucas thinks? Like, I'm sorry. I am sorry to say that. But he hasn't made a good film since 1977. Like, he hasn't. He's done so many wonderful things for the community as a whole. But
yeah.
He just... Why is he so important to you? Like, I don't understand why people have this obsession with him.
And like, I want to just completely reiterate and just make a statement here. We're not taking away from George Lucas. He is a great man who did so much for the industry, but it's just not his time anymore. It's past. It's over.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't feel sorry for him at all. I don't care if he feels like Disney are white, slave owners, because he sold them. They didn't hold a gun up to his head. Disney came to him, but he was like, all right, $4 billion. And Disney was like, bet. And so that's what happened. He got $4 billion. I'm 100% sure he has points off the back end of all of these films that are coming out.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I am sure the checks are still rolling in for Lucas. I don't feel bad for him one fucking bit if he feels like he lost his kid, because he sold it to them. Whose fault is that? He didn't have to. Like, he could have died with the rights forever in his family name until infinity. Like, but that's not what happened. He willingly sold it so that he could give it to a new generation of filmmakers. So let's see the new generation of filmmakers. Let's let them have their time. All that being said, I wish George Lucas would still make movies.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I would love to see like a small art house independent film directed by George Lucas. I would fucking love to see that, even if it's a shitty film, because he has not directed a movie not named Star Wars since before 1977, and that's so fucking weird to think about. It's been 40 years and he hasn't touched a property outside of Star Wars? Like, come on, there has to be more in him than just Star Wars. Like, Star Wars was his baby, and it'll be the biggest thing he'll ever make, like, hands down. But if you have more ideas, let him out. Let's see him.
No, exactly. I love to see what he can really do. I would love to see like him expanding on what he's known for. Get out there.
Yeah, man. Steven fucking Spielberg. Like, he made Close Encounters of the Third Kind, blew up in the 70s. E.T. blew up in the 80s. Indiana Jones blew up in the 80s. Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan all blew up in the 90s. It never stopped him from working on more than one property. Yeah. And I wish George Lucas had that same mentality. I wish he would just keep making movies, even if they're small, low budget, and no one sees them. I want to see them.
Yeah,
I want to see what he can do, like you said.
I don't know, man. Maybe the future will have something to hold for us, but
Who knows? Maybe he'll just drop a movie on Netflix like Cloverfield or some shit.
honestly, I think that'll probably be the way to do it now.
It's the way to go, right?
Yeah, honestly, man.
You know, Cloverfield really changed the game when they did that.
Go in some more detail with that.
So, are you aware about any of this? Like
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. The Cloverfield paradox came out like immediately after the trailer popped out on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes, unprecedented marketing. Like so, the the Cloverfield 3 was originally not even going to be a Cloverfield movie. It was retroactively refitted into the Cloverfield universe. And in doing so, the budget was like skyrocketing out of control, and Paramount was like, all right, we don't feel like we're going to make money on this. We're spending more money than we think we're going to earn. So they were like, fuck it, we sold it to Netflix. So they sold it to Netflix. Netflix was like, all right, what are we going to do? There's no trailers, no posters. We didn't even have a name until the Super Bowl. The name of the movie did not exist. And they're like, fuck it, it's called the Cloverfield Paradox. Here's your trailer. You can watch it in an hour. People were like, what? That was insane. It was like, it felt like an event, like stunt marketing.
Yeah.
Like, people felt like they had to watch this movie because I don't know how you feel about Cloverfield, but it has its fans, myself included. I love the first two Cloverfield movies. I love them. And so I bought into the marketing too. I was like, there's a new Cloverfield movie and I can watch it right the fuck now? Yeah, I'm going to watch it. It was a bag of shit though.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, it's awful. It's unbearable. Still though, they changed the game. The rules have changed, Ivan. We're one step closer.
Changed.
One step closer to the theaters dying. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we talked at length about our fears for theaters closing down. And we've always talked about one of the reasons is because of escalating budgets. It costs like $250 million to make one summer blockbuster, which is absurd. And that doesn't take into account all of the money you have to spend on marketing the movie. And movies like these Marvel movies like we're watching, or Star Wars like we're talking about at length, start marketing their movie like an entire year before the movie's even out.
Yeah.
Cloverfield? Nah, fuck it. Movie's out tonight. You can watch it to the fuck night. Who knows how much money, Netflix earned off of how many people instantly watched that movie. It's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting, and it's also, it's kind of sad.
It's a little sad. I mean, I'd be singing a different tune if it was amazing. If like the Cloverfield Paradox was as good as the last two Cloverfield movies, I'd be like, all right, Ivan, I know we've been talking about this, like, theaters dying, and it's very sad, but like, this is awesome. But it sucked, so I can't say it's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I call me old fashioned. Like, so we discussed this at length for like hours at a time, but man, I can't imagine living in a world where like the theater isn't a thing.
I know, and it's relatively young. It's only 100 years old compared to like music and other forms of art, which has been along for as long as there's been humans.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how young is this video on demand though?
Like, when did Netflix start? 2007?
I want to say
Maybe
2007, 2008. Well, no, I think Netflix has been around for a while, at least the DVD portion of it.
but like as a streaming service.
Yeah,
where you can instantly watch, like, that appeal of instantly watching something.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We just have to see what the future holds for us.
I know, man. I mean, it's basically killed cable.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how much longer before it kills the theater?
That's true.
It depends on what they're going to do. And this goes back to what we said about Disney having their own streaming service. So like, how long before Warner Brothers wants their own streaming service, or Paramount wants their own streaming service? And then basically you're going to have to bundle your streaming services so we have internet cable, which is just cable 2.0, until people want to go back to the theater because their appeal of bundling a fucking $100 cable package is just not interesting anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So is it the fact that The Rock has a prosthetic leg the reason why you don't want to talk about that?
I don't care. I really don't. Like, what the fuck, man? Then you got Rampage coming out too. Like,
I want to be honest with you. I'm gonna level with you here. That trailer was awful, but I think because it was awful, the movie's gonna be all right.
oh, shut the fuck up.
No, hear me out,
no,
right? No. Okay, so I thought Jumanji was going to be a pile of shit, and that was based off the trailers. That movie was surprisingly, pretty good, and it had The Rock in it. Now we've been waiting for the first video game sequel, or for the first video game adaptation to be like this grand, like eventful thing. Like, oh, finally, video game movies are good. And it hasn't happened. This year we're getting 2.
Does Rampage fucking count?
Rampage, absolutely. It's a video game. It's and see, look, we have a serious video game movie coming out this year, and it's called Tomb Raider. And it took itself seriously, and it's just gonna be trash. Like, I got that feeling it's just gonna suck. This movie, it's not taking itself seriously. Like, how seriously can we take video game adaptations if they just have not been good for years, for decades?
You know what we need?
What do we need?
We need Neil Blomkamp's Halo movie.
Man, you're preaching to the choir. I've been fucking... You can write a fucking essay on just why we need a Halo movie.
No, I made myself sad by saying that because I want the Halo movie so bad.
Because we want it. I don't understand. I guess I do understand. You know what? It's because Microsoft's a bitch. You know all about the production trouble, right? For that original Halo movie.
It's been a while. Refresh my memory.
So it's basically, I forget who had the idea first. Was it Peter Jackson or Neil Blomkamp? I think it might have been Peter Jackson's idea, and then he knew about Neil Blomkamp, and so he was going to give the movie to Neil Blomkamp. The problem all came down to Microsoft was asking for a percentage of the budget. Not of the budget, of like the revenue. But Microsoft isn't a movie studio. So that's not how movies work. That's not how movies are made. And so whatever studio it was they were pitching it to, this was probably Warner Brothers, since Peter Jackson mainly works with Warner Brothers. They were like, nah, fuck you. You're not a movie studio. Like, we'll pay you so that we can get the script and so that we can get the IP rights for your Halo movie. But you're fucking crazy if we think we're going to share the revenue with you. And Microsoft didn't fucking budge. And so they just gave up on working together. So as much as I bitch and complain, like, Neil Blomkamp has to do it, and Peter Jackson should have done it, and Warner Brothers should have played ball, it's Microsoft's fault. Yeah. They were asking for too much.
I don't know, man. I feel kind of weird having a Halo movie at this point too.
Why weird?
I think Microsoft ruined the series. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to go into whatever they're doing now with 5 and whatever the 6th one's gonna be.
See, I feel like without 343, I'm sorry, Bungie. Without Bungie being there to kind of like, hey.
Yeah.
Because like as soon as that whole split happened and Bungie separated and they did their own thing, then 343 took over the series. I mean, like it got pretty weird.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to take it in a new direction, you know. But I don't think it was necessary. Like, why?
I don't know. It's weird, and we'll see.
The multiplayer basically became like Call of Duty, and I didn't care for that.
I specifically like playing Halo because it wasn't like Call of Duty, you know.
Exactly. See, the thing was, Call of Duty wanted to be like Halo, and now like the tables have turned. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, how the turntables
have turned. So, I don't know. I've heard people online argue that it's too late for a Halo movie. Like, if you were going to make a Halo movie, it probably should have been 10 years ago. I disagree with that completely. Because, like, how awesome would it be? Last year was the 10-year anniversary for Halo 3. Like, how awesome would it be? Like, for the 10-year anniversary of Halo 3, we get the movie. Like, I would have lost my shit. I would have been there opening night. Because you know what gets me? I don't know how this is going to sound. Every now and then, you know, radio sucks. When you're listening to radio and I'm driving your car, sometimes you just want to listen to something that you have on your phone or your iPod or whatever. Sometimes I like listening to soundtracks. And every once in a blue moon, I'll play the theme song to Halo. And it just feels fucking awesome driving around listening to that theme song. You feel like you can do whatever the fuck you want listening to that theme song. And I get the chills thinking about, man, what if one day I can just fucking hear Martin O'Donnell's score in a giant surround sound system in a fucking theater? Like, it gives me the chills just thinking about it. Like, that movie needs to happen.
All right, three things. First, yes. Halo 2 had probably one of the best soundtracks ever.
Of any video game ever.
I will fight to the death. Delta Halo Suite. Oh my god. 2, I'm still salty as fuck that they fired Martin O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I knew more about the reasoning why. You know, admittedly, I never really looked too much into it.
Yeah.
3, dude, I don't know, man. I'm scared because the track record for video game movies has been fucking atrocious. I fell asleep in Assassin's Creed.
Oh, that movie. No, I can't even.
And I'm gonna say this. I was going through some of our older Snapchat history. That's saved on our thing, and there's one message you sent me. It was a poster. It's something about like
it's of him in the costume, right?
Yeah, and it's like you confirm that there's an Assassin's Creed movie, and you're just like, that's happening. And then we got that just abomination of filth.
Oh my god! See, like I wish I fell asleep during the movie. That's what I was trying to say. Like you got the better end of the stick if you fucking fell asleep through that horrible pile of trash. So disappointing. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking making that movie.
Honestly, I feel like the only real way to do a Halo movie would just be, what do you call it? Not focusing on the Chief.
No, I agree with you there. That's the weird thing. Because Chief, he's like the Rock of the entire... Not the Rock as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I mean, like, he cements that franchise. Like
he is the franchise.
Yeah, he's the face of it. But he has no face. How do you make that work? Because there's always been like production trouble in trying to figure out how to make the aliens work, like the elites and stuff. Like, do you make it CGI or do you give them prosthetics? And how heavy would the prosthetics to make like elites and brutes work? Like, but I think the technology is there now where you can basically just what's motion capture it?
Yeah.
Because motion capture, you can make anything look.
Motion capture has come a long way, dude.
Hell yeah! When we talked about our War for the Planet of the Apes commentary track, insane. They fucking motion captured the Velociraptors in the fucking Jurassic Park movies. You can motion capture whatever the fuck you want now, and it'll look pristine. But how do you make Chief work? That's an interesting question. How do you... I don't know.
Do you remember that proof of concept they did? I think it was Neil Blomkamp and like Weta Studios, where it's like a bunch of, I think it was ODSTs, and they're like trying to track the Chiefs like trajectory or something on the ground.
Was that like promotional material for Halo 3?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Where they're fighting a bunch of brutes, and eventually Chief falls from the sky. Yeah, I remember.
I think something like that would be great. Oh fuck, man! Do you remember the diorama trailers they did? Where it's like all the
ones with the toys.
Yeah. It's like all the old Marines telling stories. Oh, dude,
with the piano. That score is great.
I'm probably gonna listen to that. I'm probably gonna watch those again tonight.
Dun. Was that Hero? Dun. Remember the one with the guy? He's like an old Marine remembering back during like the war, and it was the Galactic War, and he's like, oh yes, this is the weapon, and he's looking at like a Covenant. It was like a mockumentary. Yeah. That one, like it was World War II or something. Like, no, it's Halo. Like it's pretty cool. Halo 3 had some of the best promotional material for any video game.
Oh, dude, the augmented reality shit they did. I Love Bees.
That was for Halo 2, but that was still pretty dope.
Bro, oh man, no, I'm just talking about Halo in general. Were they some of the first to do the augmented reality like promotional shit?
Maybe for a video game,
because
like they probably did similar shit for movies. Because I mean, movies, the marketing is insane. But
because I remember for I Love Bees, dude, I still remember like people going to payphones, to like get. Oh my god. Although I'm not gonna lie, for Halo 4 or 5, I can't remember what it was. I think it was 4. Is 4 the one where Chief turns like kind of rogue?
In rogue in like what sense?
Like it's him versus Locke, and he's trying to get him.
No, that's 5.
That's 5. Okay, for Halo 5, oh yeah, you're right. They actually like did a podcast series called Hunt the Truth.
Yeah.
Where it kind of like it opens up the world, a little bit more.
Yeah.
It kind of like shows how fucked up Oni is.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I like that sort of promotional material,
Interesting. I don't know. Halo. I lost interest after Halo 4, so I barely kept up with Halo 5 at all. I forgot Oni was a thing that existed in the universe.
Yeah.
They gotta make that movie. Just focus on a different character as the main protagonist, and have Chief be like an awesome kick-ass side character. Like, just do it.
I'd be okay with like the First Contact War. Like Battle Harvest and stuff, and seeing like what's going down.
Yeah, but then, so how far do you go with that one story? Because if it's about the First Contact, you don't even get into Halo yet. You know what I mean? Like, the whole concept of Halo is that there's a giant ring in space. So if you make prequels, you don't even get to that moment where they reach the Halo ring.
Yeah, you got a point there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just but it's a good point that you raise. Because I'm sure a lot of people would be with you on that. It's just, well, then what do you do with Halo? That's a Halo movie without a Halo in it. And then it's like, do you basically retell Combat Evolved? That wouldn't be so fun because you played the game already. I don't know.
What if they redid? They basically told the story of Combat Evolved, but from like the Marines' perspectives, not Chiefs. Like while all their shit's going down.
That'd be interesting. Who's an interesting character?
Johnson.
Like, I think
Keys.
Johnson's a good Marine. I don't think you make him a main character. Like he makes the quips, you know.
Yeah.
I think maybe if you focus on Keys, and I mean his daughter, Miranda Keys.
Yeah.
Because I mean she might not have been involved so much in the first game, but I mean she wasn't even created when the first game was. So just give her a part in the game and give her an interesting, because she already has an already inherently interesting family dynamic, because Keys is her father and Halsey is her mother, right?
Yeah.
They're divorced or something, right?
Something like that.
And but somewhere in there Cortana's involved, and artificial intelligence and AI is in there, and I think you make it about Miranda, and you have Johnson and you have Chief be awesome kick-ass side characters who like kick ass and have some really like action stealing scenes, but like the core of it and the emotion of it is about Miranda or something. I don't know, something like that. You just need a character to like bring it home.
There's just too much that could happen. You know, there's so much
There
possibility.
is. You can approach this from any angle. Did you see that Forward Unto Dawn? Was that on Netflix? That might have been direct to Netflix.
I think it was, yeah.
Did you end up seeing that?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
It's just not interesting, right?
No,
like,
I couldn't get into it.
A lot of people did get into it, and respect for them. It wasn't like poorly made or anything. It's just wasn't particularly interesting. You need to have that like swelling moment where Chief's just kicking ass and you hear the Halo theme and he's on the Warthog and he's driving away from the Pillar of Autumn on the big screen. Like, chills.
You know, when we started recording this, I did not think we'd go on Halo for like a 20-minute tangent.
I don't think... You know what? I didn't either. But, you know what? I don't care, because God damn it, I'm very adamant about this. I don't think we've talked about Captain America for like more than 5 minutes, and we're about halfway through the movie. Look, we love this movie. This is a fantastic movie.
Yes. I think we both saw it multiple times, like in theaters.
Yes. It's easily one of my favorite movies of 2016. It's easily one of the best movies Marvel has ever made, period.
And I think this is interesting because we both knew about the Civil War comic storyline before going into this.
Yes. I remember specifically rereading the Civil War comics for this.
And were you surprised or disappointed with the direction they went? Because obviously this is different from
This
comics.
is like it's only similar like in name. Like that's about it. But no, I love this. See, this is what I'm talking about when I refer to like movies as adaptations. Civil War is nothing like the comic. But that doesn't take away from what the comic is, nor does that take away from what this movie is. This is a fantastically made film, and it works, and it has its own narrative that's separate from the comic. But it's so fucking good anyway. So no, I love this movie, even though I love the comic, and it's nothing like the comic. That's why I'm not concerned about any of the changes Spielberg's gonna make for Ready Player One, because who gives a fuck? Because the movie's the movie and the book is the book. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. And if it's nothing like the book, you still have the book.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not one of those people at all who are like, but it's not like Civil War, because this is fucking great anyway.
You just saying that made me feel real salty.
Is it because you are like he wasn't born in Columbus, Ohio though. He moves there.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah.
Gee, an adaptation is just that, man. It's an adaptation.
Look, man, Ernest Cline gave it the go ahead and the thumbs up, so I mean, whatever. But we just saw a motorcycle in that scene. Fun fact: Harley Davidson made 2 custom motorcycles for this movie.
For this movie,
Yeah,
are they so like? Can you get them, or was it like a limited time only?
it was like a limited time only thing.
Sure.
Fun fact: they're dying.
Harley Davidson?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Nobody wants to buy Harleys anymore. It's like not the cool thing.
Is it like a motorcycle thing, or is it a brand thing?
I think it's a brand thing.
Is it just like the style of motorcycles that they make?
Yeah, they've been trying to. This is completely out of like the normal,
Doesn't matter.
They've been trying to market towards younger kids with new Street 750 and stuff, and new street models. It's just they're trying to like to market to that like cafe racer hipster.
Yeah.
It's just not working, Like they're not doing well.
I think it's just like an older generation of bikers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you think of Harley Davidson, you think of like classic old school.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, for a while, Harley
Hot rods.
Davidson ran like the fucking ran the
Yeah.
market because Harley Davidson won the contract back in World War I think, for the U.S. military.
That old?
Yeah, they didn't really won the contract, but they produced half the motorcycles with Indian, which is another compelling competitor.
Yeah.
And a lot of like GIs and stuff coming back from the war were like, "Oh shit, I rode a Harley in the war. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy one." And then you get also like a bunch of like fighter jocks, coming back from the war in World War II, trading in their P-51s and like Corsairs for a Harley.
Yeah.
Which motorcycles are pretty prevalent in aviation.
You see, it all ties back. Ivan, Captain America rode motorcycles in World War II. I'm sure he had a Harley in there.
Yeah, no, that was a Harley. I'm like 90%
Exactly.
sure that was a Harley. But yeah, the brand's dying, man, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sad.
I mean, there's the brands, they come and go. Like, things don't live forever. The Marvel, it's on the top of their game. They're owning the box office. They're not going to be on top forever. Like, it's just
Yeah, but I mean, look, this is like a Ford or like a Chevy going away. It's like an established brand that has over 100 years of heritage in American culture.
yeah.
Just because it's not cool.
Fox is not cool. Now they're gone forever.
Which also, I think a part of it is also due to the fact that like younger kids aren't writing.
Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of them are realizing how dangerous it is. I guess I don't know. Like,
Maybe, you know what? Kids are stupid. So
yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie.
Tide Pods
I've had like a ton of close calls and shit, but
Yeah.
it's still fun.
mm-hmm. Maybe it's just the style of the bike. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe just it's not the thing. I don't know. I know when I think of a Harley Davidson, I think of my old uncle, because that was his thing. I can't picture like me riding something like that, or someone in our generation riding something. I don't know.
First of all, I can't imagine you riding a motorcycle at all. I feel like you die.
Probably. It's not my thing. You know what I want? I want a Vespa. And it's absolutely 100% because of Fooly Cooly.
Yes. All right. Do you want to get into that?
I don't know what the fuck you made me watch. You recommended that. So, what was that? Just our last podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Hunger Games. You recommended that I should watch Fooly Cooly, and I'm 3 episodes in. I have no idea what the fuck I'm watching, and I love it, and it's insane.
It's great. It's great. It's great.
It's really fantastic. It's just so different.
Yeah.
It's chaotic. It's energetic. It has this like frenetic energy to it. It doesn't make sense, but it doesn't matter, and it's funny and like mundane at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, they've actually. I told you they've announced 2 new seasons of it.
Yes, and I'm
All right,
I'm
the
really
biggest
excited.
part,
I'm absurdly excited.
the biggest part for me of this series. What did you think of the soundtrack?
It's phenomenal. Like it really, like it's something else. It's
Bro.
something that I'm not used to hearing in anime.
Man, the
and
pillows.
and it suits it so well. Like I don't listen to Japanese punk, but it works.
It does, man. They did such a great job. Little Busters. Dude, that's such a great song.
It works really well, and the type of energy that it has, it's just so in sync with the visuals that you watch with the anime, and the visuals themselves are fucking crazy. Like there's so many different artistic styles in like just one scene. They'll change like 3 different styles, and it's like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
It's like avant-garde and experimental, but it's still entertaining. It's so fucking weird.
Dude, I am probably gonna listen to them later. Fucking and honestly, the fact that they got them back on for the 2 new seasons is what made it for me.
Yeah.
Right on true. It's such a good fucking soundtrack.
It's good, man. Everything about it. I'm really impressed with it. I'm halfway done.
You see, David, I give you good recommendations every now and then.
Every now and then you don't let me down, Ivan.
Unlike you in PUBG, where you always let me down.
Nah, man. I brought us up. We won because of me. Literally.
I carried you for like the first 3 quarters of that match.
You can rework that as much as you want, but it came down to me winning the game, and I did.
I sacrificed myself so that you could carry us.
The team needed me the most. I was there. I think last game we talked. I mean, our last commentary track, we talked all about how we sucked. And for anyone who's keeping score, we won our first game together, and it was. Ivan did great. He did a great job. He killed a couple people, but I won us the game. So that is forever. It'll forever be remembered in internet history.
Oh, whatever. Back to film. Spider-Man, Peter Parker. He young.
This was a. Do you not like this? I know you have a problem with him in Homecoming, that he just feels too young. But how do you feel about him in this movie?
I thought he was alright. I liked him.
Oh, fuck you. No, I mean, like, that's your opinion. You have a right to your opinion. Man, I love this scene. You know what's interesting? Batman v Superman. You remember that shitty movie, right?
Yeah.
Came out the same year. Came out earlier than this movie. And I complained so much about how it was trying to do so many things at once that it couldn't focus on like one story, because it's a Man of Steel sequel, it's a Batman origin story, a Wonder Woman origin story, but it is also the death of Superman story and the Doomsday story, while also introducing new characters like Lex Luthor, and it just lost track of one story by trying to juggle all those pieces.
Yeah.
This fucking movie is a sequel to The Winter Soldier, is a Black Panther origin story, is a Spider-Man origin story, is a sequel to Iron Man 3 technically, and technically a sequel to Age of Ultron, and it works phenomenally. How the fuck did they pull that off?
They put the time and effort to make a lot of backstory, man.
You mean they take their time with these movies?
We're
And they
starting to
don't
sound like
rush
we're
into
starting to sound like a
production.
broken record, man.
It's true though, man.
So, David, anything else in the movie world you want to talk about?
Uh, did we talk about all the trailers already for the Super Bowl?
We got through two of them actually.
We Han Solo. We're skipping over Skyscraper. We did talk about Rampage.
Yeah.
I'm missing something. There was an Infinity War trailer. There wasn't a lot, but it exists. Oh, there was a Jurassic World trailer. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
It looked a lot better than the first trailer.
Yeah, I'll give that.
I look like I'm gonna see the movie no matter what, because I mean dinosaurs, but that first trailer really had me worried that it was gonna be like this stupid, like, I don't know what the fuck. I thought the whole movie was gonna be about this volcano, and I was like, what am I watching? Because a volcano? That's what we're going with now? That's our main villain? A volcano exploding? What is this, Geostorm? Like, come on. Apparently that's not what the whole movie's about. And it looks more like a weird kind of horror monster movie. And a volcano is only going to play a small part in that story. So I'm okay.
All right, so I guess something to talk about.
Yeah.
Speaking of video game movies, did you hear about Activision?
Activision? No.
So the director of Sicario 2.
Soldado? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's Soldado. No, is it?
Sicario 2?
Yeah.
Soldado, yeah.
That was Stefano Semelin. Semelin?
Sicario 2 Soldado?
Oh, I thought you meant the director's name was Soldado. Okay.
Oh, no. That's the name of the movie.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, the director for Sicario 2 has been chosen by Activision to direct the Call of Duty film. So I guess we're getting a Call of Duty movie?
Look, that's fine because you can make that movie about fucking anything. It's
You
not like Call of Duty.
You really can. You absolutely. There's so many different fucking storylines that they can make one up and be like, yeah, that was probably a game.
Like, for all intents and purposes, that director could have had a movie in mind that like was set in any fucking time period. It just had something to do with war, and they just slapped the Call of Duty name on it. Like, it does not matter.
I feel like the only thing that's gonna make this like a Call of Duty movie, not your generic like fucking just war movie, is gonna be the fact that they're gonna bring up they're gonna say Call of Duty at one point.
You think they're gonna say it? This is our Call of Duty. Oh, dude, no! I would laugh so hard in the theater.
It's like, you knew what you signed up for when you took the Call of Duty. I'm like, all right, okay,
No,
all right, okay.
I would have to walk out of the theater.
All right, so I got something for you. I'm curious. Have you heard about this movie, I Killed Giants?
I Killed Giants? No.
Apparently, they released a poster, I think today or maybe a few days ago. I don't know. From the producers of Harry Potter. Let's see, Zoe Saldana, isn't it?
Zoe Saldana?
Yeah, Zoe Saldana, Medicine Wolf. Imogen Poots. I don't fucking know how to say that name.
I Killed. What the fuck is it about?
I have no fucking idea. You know, actually, I'll send you a link to it right now.
You said there's a poster? Yeah, send me that. Interesting. Okay, how do you feel about the Call of Duty movie?
Until there's more stuff released about it and I kind of like get what's going on, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this isn't gonna be a movie I'm gonna go like see opening night. I guarantee that. This is gonna be a movie I'm gonna catch on like a Friday afternoon after I get out of work, or like just a fucking Tuesday morning when I get like a $3 ticket from AMC.
It's all gonna come down to the filmmaker to me, because the guy who made Soldado, he's like made like only 2 foreign films before, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. So I haven't seen shit from him. So obviously it's gonna come down to how he does on Soldado for me to have a fair opinion of his work. Because I don't know if they gave it to a good director or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it could be he has a vision, and they're gonna be like, "All right, here you go, execute your vision," or it's gonna be, "Oh, you know how to do what studios tell you to do. We're gonna tell you to do this. Can go do this now," and then it's gonna suck.
See, okay, my issue with this is there's no details so far as I know, right? And until I do, it's gonna be hard to say. But when you say they're making a Call of Duty movie, you're basically saying they're making a war movie.
Yeah.
Like
that is an interesting poster. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, yeah, it really is.
Visually, I didn't expect. I don't know what the fuck I expected, but the color palette's pretty top notch.
No, that's what I'm saying. It definitely caught my eye.
Huh.
There's so much going on in there that I'm interested in.
Okay, I gotta keep my eye on this one. Go on. Call of Duty war movie.
Oh, there's no established franchise or like fucking thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Like they even like break their own universe so many fucking times. Like there's multiple universes in the Call of Duty franchise.
Yeah, it's not like it's one overarching story.
No, you have like the closest I think it ever gets to like having an overarching story is when you have first when you get the Modern Warfare series, which was basically 3 games of like the exact same story, or not same story, but like
wasn't Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and then there was Modern Warfare 2,
and then Modern Warfare 3.
Get the fuck out of here.
The closest I think I've seen to like the characters like crossing over stuff is like, hey, there's a guy in the original Call of Duty from World War II named Briggs. Oh, hey, there's another dude named Briggs in Modern Warfare. Oh, it turns out that's his fucking grandpa.
What the fuck?
Like, there's nothing like.
No, so yeah, it doesn't matter. They could make any war movie.
They really could. It's okay.
They you can make Saving Private Ryan and call it Call of Duty. Like they could make anything. Like, or they can make a stupid John Cena is a Marine movie and call it Call of Duty.
Now I'm just.
You know exactly what I'm talking about too. He's in a million of those. They probably would. I wouldn't put it past them.
I think I'm just curious now. Are they going to go for World War II? Are they going to go for Modern War? Are they going to go for the future bullshit they did for a while?
You can go either way. I'd be up for it either way.
Like I said, yeah, this isn't going to be a movie I'm going to see opening
day.
The
future one wasn't well received though, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah, don't go with future. Don't go with future. Modern Warfare or World War II?
I say this now, but who knows? It might actually be a fantastic movie.
I mean, it could. Like, anything's possible. What if Call of Duty was the movie to transcend the video game genre? What if, it's possible. I don't want to say it. It sounds blasphemous, but, like, it can happen.
Shit. I don't know.
They're going to make the tie-in video game. The video game will be shit, but the movie can be awesome.
If that happens, fuck it. I'll sit through Assassin's Creed all over again.
No. Look I don't like Call of Duty. I don't. I've never have. I don't care about any of their games. I just don't. That's my personal taste. I'm not going to complain if they make a movie and it's awesome, because if that gets us one step closer to getting good video game movies and a good Halo movie, I'm 100% down for it.
That's what you said about Assassin's Creed.
And it happened to be a shit film, but that's why. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not gonna be a movie that we're all anticipating. It's gonna be some stupid fucking movie. It's gonna be Rampage, or it's gonna be Call of Duty, because we're not expecting it to do anything. We had so much expectations on Warcraft and on Assassin's Creed, and they were just piles of shit. It's gonna be a movie that catches us off guard.
We'll see. We'll see. This is still pretty early.
Look, it's gonna come out and it's gonna be shit. We know it, but like I'm saying, it could be anything.
Another story, real quick. Did you hear about Get Out?
What about it?
Apparently, AMC is gonna play it on President's Day for free.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
That's weird as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
It's random as shit. Oh, I mean, okay, free movie. You know, whoever hasn't seen it yet. That's a pretty good movie. You know, they released the alternate ending online.
Did they?
Mm-hmm. You saw the movie, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's the ending where it's the sad ending where he gets like caught by the police.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I think the ending, as it is now, definitely works much better. But it was still interesting to watch. It's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Here's the glorious, epic fight scene, Ivan. I mean, it's been going on for about 7 minutes. But here's the part where they all punch each other in the face. What amazes me about this sequence, if you can allow me, if you could be so kind as to let me talk about Captain America for 2 minutes, Ivan.
Oh, okay.
The movie we're watching is, I'm amazed at how well everything is choreographed, in the sense that I have a good idea of where all these characters are, even though there's like 20 of them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It could have been so easy to be confused with all this editing and thinking, where is everyone? Kind of who's fighting who? No, I have a good sense of who's fighting who and where they are and how powerful they are against each other.
No,
that really impresses me.
I'm curious, and I love to see this, and it probably wouldn't have worked cinematically, but just I love to see like an expanded view of just all the fights going on at once.
Oh, like a wide shot?
Yeah.
A nice wide shot of everything?
So you can see like, oh yeah, you got like Spider-Man, Captain America over here, you got fucking Scarlet Witch and War Machine over there, and Tony Stark's over there, you know?
No, that would have been real neat. I mean, the way the fight scenes are edited, like there's a shot like once every 2 seconds. So the wide shot would have been like a 2-second shot. But I think you're right. It would have been interesting to see visually. This type of editing normally really bothers me because it's just so fucking frenetic that it's chaotic. But it really works here. Like, I don't know what the fuck it is about the Russo brothers and the way they shoot.
It's like an organized chaos.
Yes, that's a very good way to put it. Because like I said, the pacing itself is chaotic and it's very frantic and it is all over the place since there is a lot of characters. But you still get a good sense of the action. It's not like Taken where there's like 17 cuts just for the fucking old man to jump over the fence. But you have a good sense of where everything is and what's going on. It's very weird. They made it work beautifully. I gotta sneeze. I gotta sneeze, Ivan. Oh, it didn't happen.
There you go.
I sneezed. Internet sneeze. I'm not editing that out. I don't want to have to go through this and look for my sneeze.
So does the name Ryan Murphy ring any bells to you?
Ryan Murphy. No. Who dat?
He's been the producer behind like Glee, Nip Tuck, American Crime Story, American Horror Story.
Okay.
Netflix just lured him in and offered him a $300 million 5-year deal.
Netflix be making moves, man.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I'm thinking about. I bet like Fox's studio or television division must be fucking salty because those are all Fox shows, aren't they?
No. Glee?
No, American Horror Story was FX.
Glee. This is gonna bother me because I should know this one.
Glee was Fox.
Was it Fox?
I'm pretty sure it was Fox.
No, I don't think Fox. Fox. You gotta remember, Fox notoriously sucks at TV. They're the ones who wanted to cancel like Family Guy and Futurama over and over again, even though they constantly make them money.
Yep, it was a Fox network drama.
Was it? All right. They have to be salty though because they do suck. Did they? So they signed him on for series, like
I think they just
original
offered
series
him.
content?
They just offered him a 5-year contract for $300 million.
Interesting.
I think Fox was also trying to bid for him too, or something.
I'm sure.
But so he was a creator for popular Nip Tuck, Glee, American Horror Story, The New Normal, Scream Queens, Feud, 911, Pose, or Posse, and The Politician, and he was producer for Glee. I'm just trying to pick some popular ones out of this.
Sure. No, I mean, so he has a lot on his resume.
He has a lot on his resume.
Yeah. No, Netflix, they've been making some moves. Like, they release some shit, but they go after people, man. I don't remember if we talked about they got Matt Reeves like a 3-picture deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Martin Scorsese's making a direct to Netflix movie. Martin fucking Scorsese.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's nuts. With Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. They're making a name for themselves.
I remember, we might have mentioned this before, but I remember listening to an NPR story about Netflix and how their company is really like into like trimming the fat from their staff.
Yeah.
So like as soon as your job becomes like no longer needed or easily done by something else, they instantly fire you, no matter like how long you've been with the company.
Damn.
And like it's funny because not funny, it's kind of like ironic, but the woman who implemented that, who like she was basically one of like the founders of Netflix and who was like the main push for having the system, got fired.
Yeah. Oh no, shit.
Because it was like, yeah, your job's obsolete, goodbye.
Well, like Netflix, they're not really like a typical studio. Like, who knows what the fuck goes on at Netflix? You know what I mean? They're just a black box. They're just a couple of people who like hire other people to make their own movies. It's very strange.
Yeah, honestly, I love to see a Netflix series based on Netflix.
That'd be nuts. Going up against like
So
Blockbuster.
meta.
It'd be so meta. It'd be so meta, Ivan. Well, I mean, they gotta start making moves now because when that Disney streaming service comes out, they're gonna have some serious competition. They're gonna go up against the mouse. Like, they need to start having their own like content. That actually is making them profitable. And And names like Martin Scorsese and Matt Reeves, you know.
I'm interested, man. Do you
get there.
think they can? I mean, do you think they can stand a chance against Disney?
Against Disney, yeah. There's only one streaming service that can stand a chance against Disney, and that's Netflix. And that's only because Netflix has been here first. Like, I don't think Warner Brothers is going to stand a chance if they create their own. I don't think Paramount's going to stand a chance if they create their own. Sony sucks. There's no way they got a chance. It's going to be like Netflix versus Disney, the streaming service. Yeah. And they might both survive because, you know, there's always like two, Xbox and PlayStation. It's Nintendo or Sega, fucking this or that. You know what I mean? It's always like these two top, McDonald's or Burger King. There's just I think in streaming services it's going to be Netflix and Disney.
Yeah, I can see that.
The weird thing is Disney's the underdog here, but it's because they're Disney that it's like, no, they're not gonna fail. You don't bet against Disney.
Okay, real quick, I want to get back into this movie for a second. This is a scene where Rhodey, he doesn't die, right? He's all right.
No, yeah, he makes it. That had to hurt. I mean, like, you could feel the impact.
Oh yeah. Fuck. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh.
We were talking about roads.
No, before that, when we were talking about Disney and Netflix and stuff.
Oh, you just wanted to watch them fall?
No, I wanted to say, you know, I feel like that's a very impactful moment. Heartbreaking.
You would think he would have put parachutes into the suits.
I mean, the fact that he survived that fall, I think, speaks to how well the suit's designed. You know, fuck you.
That's true. That's very true. I think he learned from that mistake and put a parachute in Spider-Man's outfit afterwards.
I mean, Spider-Man's outfit doesn't have like thrust or anything.
No, but I mean, like, it came in handy in the movie.
It did. You know what? I'll give you that. Shut the fuck up now.
No, I'm just saying.
Nah.
It's Tony Stark.
Fuck. What was I gonna say though?
Thinking on his feet.
I don't know. Netflix. They're getting big.
Yeah, G. It's scary. Scary big.
Too spooky. Oh yeah, I was gonna make a comment. You know, I'm sure it's already been made. I'm sure I saw this and this is where I'm getting the idea from. But what if they bring back that meme? You know, Hail Hydra. But instead of just whispering Hail Disney.
Disney, you know, they're pretty close to ruling everything.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if somebody can make like a graph or like a map of like all the different media outlets and like providers and everything, just seeing how much of it, you know, leads back to Disney in some sense.
Disney. It's a scary thought, Ivan. Oh, did you see the Venom trailer?
I have not. I definitely need to see that.
Pero por qué, Ivan? I told you to watch the trailer. You know, watch the trailer.
I'm busy.
It's 2 minutes. Watch it while you're taking a shit.
I have no excuse. I forgot.
A lot of people complained. It's a Venom trailer, but there's no Venom. You know what? I'm actually glad there's no Venom in the trailer.
Really? You
know what? Because it may sound odd. So I'm I was 100% against this movie. I thought it was a stupid idea to make to begin with. I don't know why you're making a Venom movie without Spider-Man in it. Like, it has nothing to do with Spider-Man. It's not a part of the MCU. It's made by Sony, and I've notoriously shat on Sony before. I don't like them. I think they make pretty shitty movies. But there were people who obviously are big fans of Venom and just want to see a good movie with Venom in it, and I can respect that. It has Tom Hardy in it. It has other good actors in it. And the people who are for Venom are now complaining, well, they didn't show Venom. And now I'm like, well, you know what? They didn't show Venom, but what they showed us was kind of a character piece about Eddie Brock and how he's fighting with inner demons, and they actually didn't spoil what Venom might look like, which is shocking coming from a Sony movie where they usually spoil everything in the trailers. It's like they just did everything in reverse. I don't know. It was weird.
We'll see, like, man.
This might be more character driven than I thought, which catches me by surprise. I was like, oh, it's more character driven and it's not action heavy, and they didn't spoil what Venom looked like. Yeah. I'm intrigued.
Did you see the new poster for Full Metal Alchemist?
Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah, Netflix series.
Netflix series?
I'll send you a link right now.
I'm confused. Are they making another one?
They didn't make a... No, it's a live action film.
It's a film being released on Netflix?
Yeah.
Is it made directly for Netflix?
I think so. Yeah, it's a Netflix original. It actually comes out the 19th.
Of this year. Is this the Japanese one?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't want to see this.
Yeah, same.
Man.
Did you see the poster I sent you, though, for the new Pacific Rim poster?
No, I was looking at Full Metal Alchemist first. Oh, that's a beautiful poster.
It really is. I'm excited for that now.
Is this an IMAX specific poster?
I think it might be. But definitely be picking that poster up.
Yeah, sometimes AMC, they do those things. IMAX only.
Oh yeah, damn! Didn't they have like the 4 exclusive posters for Star Wars and
the Force Awakens posters? Don't you got one of them?
I got one of them.
You got 2 of them.
Oh, I did get 2 of them. Fuck yeah!
Because I know you wanted the one with the X-wing. That was a beautiful poster.
I honestly have like a closet full of just posters, like rolled up in tubes, just waiting for me to frame them.
Posters are cool, man. It's just when you got so many, you're like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah. I just picked up one of my posters from one of my favorite bands. I'm super excited. Number 5 out of 40.
Oh, nice. I don't understand why you'd want to make a Venom movie not in this universe. I blame Avi Arad. They just like, what the fuck? You just made Spider-Man. Just like wait a fucking year and let Marvel put Venom in it. I don't know. I just don't know even. It's really sad seeing our heroes behind bars.
Something really profound in that statement.
Now I'm thinking about what I said. I'm like, damn, that was a little deep. I said that? It is sad, though, but it goes back to, what I was saying about this movie feeling like it has consequences.
Yeah.
Like Scott Lang, he has a kid. He's here. Barton left his family to help out Cap. He's in here. What's his name? Falcon, Cap's right-hand man. He's in here. They got Scarlet Witch in a straitjacket, like she's fucking mentally insane. Sad. I'm wondering how they're gonna patch things up, for the next one. All right, there's a giant alien. He's threatening to destroy the entire universe. We can be friends again. Gearing up to that final fight, Ivan. Which is an awesome fight, where they just fucking kick the shit out of Iron Man.
So yeah, David, anything else you want to bring up or talk about right now?
I was talking about them kicking the shit out of Iron Man, but you didn't say nothing.
I mean, they about to fight.
That's what I'm saying. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, then you're just a biche.
All right, shut up.
Oh, Black Panther's following them. Oh, I forgot. He has that scene where
he looks mad.
He stops Zemo from killing himself, right?
Yeah.
What does he say? He says something awesome. It's something about death, and I don't know. I forget. It sounds better when he says it anyway. Tony's about to learn that Bucky killed his parents. Yeah, see, I did catch on that they were alluding to Tony having killed, to Bucky having killed his parents, because of in the Winter Soldier, they alluded to it without saying it.
Yeah.
It was something like it was the scene where Captain America finds the robot remains of Dr. Zolob. They're looking for like the Zolob algorithm or some shit. And he's like, "Oh, Captain America," and he's like his German accent.
Yeah.
Where sometimes accidents happen, and there's a brief glimpse of like Howard Stark in a newspaper. When he was killed by the car accident, and they were implying, accident in quotation marks. I was like, oh, like real life conspiracies. People believe real life celebrities were killed when they were killed in an accident. I was like, I think they're alluding to something here, and they went that way. I'm glad they went that way, because it's so fucking heartbreaking to see when Tony realizes what really happened to his parents. Because I mean, you can make the argument like that wasn't Bucky. He was brainwashed. But like, what would you do if a brainwashed person killed your mother? Like, you saw it happen. He choked her out. Would you be like, okay, that wasn't him. Or in that moment where you're pissed off and you just want to kick the shit out of that guy.
I'd be mad as fuck.
Yeah, you'd be mad as fuck. You just watched your mother get choked out to death. That's really sad. And you're Iron Man and you're not going to do anything? No, you're going to punch a guy in the face. I'm really glad they didn't. I'm really glad that they did kill these other 5 quote unquote winter soldiers, because I thought it was going to go in a really weird place.
Yeah, that would have just been like a stupid storyline that would have been a DC move.
True. Because it just would have came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
you know?
DC.
And I mean, yeah, you keep the focus on Cap, Bucky, and Iron Man. You know what I mean? This is what the scene is all about. You throw in like 5 super soldiers, you're like, what is this? What this wasn't leading to this moment, so why are we watching it? Although Zemo's plan was very oddly specific and kind of convoluted. Like to specifically get them all in this room just so that he can play a tape to Tony Stark without the fact that he didn't even know if Tony Stark would be there in the room. He could have mailed him the tape. I don't know. It works. I'm thinking about it too much.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's the tape.
I feel like that forever could have like just not been there. I feel like that forever was an awkward addition.
I agree. Zemo, he doesn't have the best dialogue. I like his motivation. He's not like your typical Marvel villain. I want to rule everything because evil plan. Like, no, like he has an emotional like connection with the Avengers because they killed his family without knowing.
Yeah.
So like the core concept is there. Some of his dialogue's a bit clunky.
Yeah, you know, all these films are going to have flaws, but I mean, the positives definitely outshine them.
Absolutely. Like anything we say are basically just nitpicks because the overarching story is good. You compare it to like DC, where it's the overarching story is a pile of crap. Then all the nitpicks are suddenly like astounding problems in the movie. Yeah, like why is there a camera like attached to a tree? I don't know. It makes no sense. It doesn't matter because Tony had to see it. Ooh, he flinched. That's 2 for flinching.
Ooh.
See, and I think when Captain America admits that he did know, he is referring to the scene I was talking about in Winter Soldier, because it's not like him and Bucky openly discussed, Tony Stark's parents. So I think he is alluding to the scene I'm talking about where it's implied.
I mean, if that is true, like, how do you feel about that? Like, him keeping it a secret for so long. Do you think it's justified? Do you think it's fucked up? Like,
I think it's justified because how do you bring that up in conversation? How do you like how?
Like, hey man,
people have
this guy we're trying to hunt down. Like, I'm just gonna tell you, he killed your folks.
But
it
also,
wasn't
he's
him.
my best friend, so let's not kill him. I don't. No, I understand. People keep secrets, as it's just one of those things. I'm sure he never thought it would have come to any of this,
I'm sure they didn't think that it would come to Sokovia either,
Yeah, shit happens. I think he admits it. Like, he apologizes for it afterwards. He says, I thought I was trying to spare you the pain, but I realized, I was just trying to find the easy way out for myself. Or he says some shit like that in the end. Yeah, I can justify it. He's not perfect. He's flawed. Our characters are flawed. Okay. We see them learn. We see them grow.
Real quick, is Infinity War divided into two sections or no?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that there is a second movie coming next year, Untitled Avengers 4. No, in the sense that the directors have said, and we'll just have to wait and see to find out if this is true, that Infinity War is going to be its own thing, while Avengers 4 is going to be its separate thing. In the sense that, like, Infinity War will have a natural beginning, middle, and end, and the follow-up will have a natural beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like I don't want them to leave off with, like, Thanos. Like, he's still out there, and he still poses a massive threat immediately to us. Not as in, like, we beat him, but he got away. But he's pretty fucked.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it, because they shot 3 and 4 back to back. So I hope. I don't know. I don't want to say I hope Thanos comes back for the 4th one. I just hope the 3rd one's not some, like, bullshit cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm the way they said it, it makes me believe that Infinity War is going to be a movie that stands on its own. But then I'm like, well, you shot the movies back to back, so is that really true? I'm just going to have to wait and see.
Oh, he ain't got no arm.
Again.
Oh, shit. He blew that thing
It's a good thing he didn't shut off his good arm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, can you argue that is his good arm?
Damn. Looks like he gets it back in the trailer.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Oh, there's Black Panther.
He's sneaking up on him like a sneaky cat. But Zemo knows. To see them rip each other apart. I love his accent. It's fake, but I love it. Like, it works for the character. I'm really excited for Black Panther. Just watching him. Just stare there. Like, he has such a presence,
Yeah.
I remember when we saw it opening night, people in the audience clapped when he just appeared. I didn't even realize, so many people cared for Black Panther, but he's an important character to a lot of people. So,
all right, two things I want to say. One, yeah, it's almost like his presence commands the scene.
Yeah, definitely.
And two, I see what you mean. Like I'm starting to see what you mean. I'm mad at myself for not seeing earlier, but I can see what you mean by when you were saying that this movie makes it feel like their actions have impacts, because like his entire reasoning for wanting to get vengeance is like, yeah, like they came in and they saved the day or they saved the world, but like people died, like innocent people died because of their actions.
Yeah.
And what he just said right now really got to me too, where it's like, where were the Avengers? They went home.
They went home. He tried to commit suicide, man. It's the living are not done with you yet. Yes, Black Panther. You tell him. It's a great fucking movie, man.
Oh yeah.
We might have talked about Halo for a bit longer, but doesn't take away from my love for this movie.
Oh yeah. I fucking love Iron Man.
Oh, he's epic. I didn't think the Russo brothers did the impossible, man. Like, the Winter Soldier and Civil War are up there as my favorite MCU films. They made Captain America like my favorite character in all these movies. I love Iron Man, but like, fuck, have I fallen in love with Captain America because of these movies. I'm sporting a Captain America shirt right now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Hey, I think we had this conversation too. Like, where do you stand with Sokovia Accords?
Oh yes.
I think we argued this for a while too.
I think we did. I think we went back and forth. And what's so fucking great about this movie is you can see where they're both coming from. You can understand both of their sides. It's not just one-sided. It's not like Captain America's right and Iron Man's wrong. You're like, nah, Iron Man's making some pretty good fucking points. But Captain America over there, he's making some pretty good fucking points too.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy. And if I remember correctly, you said it was Cap and I was Iron Man.
I remember siding with Cap. As of right now, I feel torn. Because I do feel for both of them. Both of their sides. Because, I mean, okay, so we're looking inside. Like, we know these guys have the best intentions, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know that they are actively trying to save the day. But if these guys were real, in the real world, right? We'd have no idea who the fuck they are. They're like gods living amongst us.
Yeah.
And they just have no control. Like, they just go around running wherever they see fit. Like, of course, we've been watching them for 10 years. We know that they're the heroes. We root for them.
And to bring it back full circle to how shitty DC is, that's my issue with Superman. Well, one of my many issues with Superman.
No, I agree with you. So I don't know. Knowing where they come from, of course I stand with Captain America, because say when Thanos comes, they'd have to go. They can't wait for a committee. They can't wait, they have to go save the day. But like, if we're talking about the real world, like, yeah, they should probably have someone like overseeing their actions just to make sure. I don't know how you do that correctly. Like, but nothing's perfect. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you this though. Like, I think they also touch on this in the movie or in other movies, but like, okay, what if they weren't American? Like, what if like Iron Man was like fucking Russian? Like, do you think?
Oh, you better believe America would come in right the fuck away and stop that.
Be
shit.
like, no, you gotta chill the fuck out, guy.
Yeah.
You better sign this fucking Sokovia Accord right fucking now, yeah.
You better sign this shit Right the fuck
The
now. That's a good point too, though.
The war on the Avengers has begun.
Like, it's weird to think about, but like I think you're onto something there. I don't think people would like to admit that, but you're true. A lot of people do have issues with in universe. A lot of people have issues with Scarlet Witch, and she's foreign. I think that's briefly mentioned. Like, it's a quick line, because she is foreign.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great fucking movie. It feels real. Who do you still side with Iron Man?
Yeah, I do.
I think I lean like 1% over to Captain America's side. And I think that's just because at the end of the day, I don't trust the government, and you don't want these people being bogged down by politics. Politics, as we've learned over the past years, is a load of crap.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I side with Tony is just like, who's gonna police them? You know.
True. That's why they got him in a fucking jail in the middle of the ocean. Like, if the Hulk was involved in this, what the fuck do you do with that? Oh man, I can't wait for Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
This is the same. It's the same fucking guys too that made the Winter Soldier and these guys. So that's why I'm like, it's gonna be epic. They had to juggle so many characters, but they all had, they each one had like one moment where they could shine. But the focus, it never lost focus. I don't know. Great shit.
Just really well done.
Yes. That's a fantastic movie. That's a great fucking movie.
The Russo brothers, man.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how they did. I have no fucking idea how they made a movie about so much shit work so well. Like flawlessly. I don't have a lot of problems with this movie outside like some of the nitpicks we were talking about earlier. Like,
do you think the Russo brothers are like Disney's / Marvel's like Golden Boys?
I absolutely believe they're Marvel's Golden Boys right now, because I think they're the only ones so far that have made 2 Marvel films that are universally loved with critics and audiences. You can argue James Gunn maybe now that he's made Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It depends. Jon Favreau was their Golden Boy when he made Iron Man, but then Iron Man 2 is pretty forgettable. And then Joss Whedon was their Golden Boy when he made the Avengers, but then Age of Ultron wasn't,
I mean, okay.
No, the Winter Soldier was fucking great, and then Civil War is arguably better.
Like, I'll say it, like, I love Guardians of the Galaxy, don't get me wrong. It's probably one of my favorite, I guess, branches in the MCU.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But I would say easily, multiple times over, these films, like the Russo brothers' work, It's much better than Guardians of the Galaxy, honestly.
It's on a whole different level.
Yeah,
and they're two different.
they're two different movies.
Stylistically,
They're
like,
two different movies.
Yeah,
it's hard to compare them. It's not just to compare them.
right.
But fuck, it's fantastic. Hey.
Yeah. And the fact that they let them direct Infinity War 1 and 2, I think they got faith in the duo. And it's a good thing because they are a pair, so they can bounce off each other. Okay, so here's a nice this whole thing's set in Wakanda, right?
Mm-hmm.
This post credit scene. Do we get a Winter Soldier cameo in Black Panther or Captain America? Either or. In the movie or in the credits?
I am gonna say yes. I am definitely gonna say at least a mention. They're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, the Frozen guy," or like, "Yeah, something that they're gonna mention Bucky at least at one point."
Do you think we'll see him at all?
Maybe in the background.
I think we're gonna see Cap.
You think so? How?
Well, because he's hiding. He's on the run, and then in the trailer we still see him. He's still in Wakanda. So I think that's where he's hiding, in Wakanda. I don't know how the fuck like you put him into the trailer. I mean into the movie, but I think if anything we see him like in a post-credit scene.
Honestly, I think one of the biggest things I'm excited about Black Panther is seeing Wakanda.
Yeah.
Cause like
that looks like a real lived-in world.
Yeah, dude, it's so weird because it has like this like conflicting feel of like old ruins, but like just fucking like modern technology, like contrast. I don't know, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, like it's old and it looks like tribal, but it's like new school, and it's
got like fighter jets flying through the air.
It looks awesome, but like it doesn't look awesome in a cheap way. It looks awesome, like that looks like a real place.
Yeah,
like
that's like I want to go there.
Right, which is weird, but I think it's addressed in the movie, or from some of the reviews that I've been reading up on Black Panther, that they really do a great job in making the world feel lived in and like a real place. There's great world building in Black Panther, so that has me really, really excited. Well, I think that wraps up another one there, Ivan.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say before I have my closing comments?
Definitely go support Black Panther. Come on, it's gonna be a great movie.
Yes, come on. Check it out. You'll like it.
Check out FLCO Footy Cootie. Great. The Pillows, fantastic story.
Yes.
Fantastic music. Yeah, I got nothing really to say, honestly, so take it away.
All right. Definitely check those properties out. If you liked this, you can find us on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. You can find us on SoundCloud and follow us there. You can find us on iTunes. And if you want to support us, the best way you can do that is by finding us and donating on Bandcamp. It's not required at all. It's just with something that it helps us out when we're trying to watch these movies and get our hands on all these movies and whatnot, and we would very much appreciate it. But again, it's not required. You can find us on all those platforms at simply Not the Best Podcast. But if you ever wanted to reach out to us and suggest any movies that you would like us to comment on, you can reach us at notthebestmedia@gmail.com. And if you're a movie producer and if you have any ideas for the Halo movie, please make it happen. Like, just fucking do it. Just don't even think about it. What are you doing, man? Just greenlight that movie. We want to see it.
Yeah.
We want to fucking see that movie.
We say it all the time, but it still stands true. Give us ideas, guys. I mean, we're definitely open to viewer suggestions. You guys watch us, So the least we can do is, review or talk about something that you guys like. So,
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and drop us a line. We're always open.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on another commentary trek with us. We've enjoyed it, and we'll be back eventually when Thor Ragnarok actually is available so that we can actually talk about it. All right, guys. We're not the best podcast, but
we aight.
We're all right. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
See ya. See ya. See ya.